The champagne flute slipped through my fingers at exactly 8:23 p.m., shattering across the marble floor of our parents' anniversary party. But nobody turned to look at me. All 200 guests, every single one, were applauding my sister Victoria as she announced her engagement to the man I'd been dating for 3 years. The worst part wasn't watching James slip that ring onto her finger. It was realizing this had been their plan all along. Let me back up 6 months. I'm Eleanor, and if you'd asked me then, I would have said I had the perfect life. Perfect job as a senior architect at Morrison & Associates, perfect boyfriend, perfect relationship with my twin sister. We'd always been close, matching Halloween costumes until we were 16, sharing secrets, finishing each other's sentences. But there were patterns I'd trained myself not to see. Victoria got the master bedroom growing up. I got the converted storage room. She got the car for her birthday. I got a gift card. She got a full-ride scholarship to Yale. I got, maybe community college would be a better fit for you, sweetie. My mother's favourite phrase echoed through my childhood. Victoria needs this more than you do. You understand, don't you, Eleanor? You've always been so capable on your own. Capable. That word became my cage. I met James at a coffee shop on a Tuesday morning. I remember because I'd just landed the Thompson Tower project, the biggest commission of my career. He was an environmental consultant, funny and kind, with this way of listening that made you feel like the only person in the room. We dated for 8 months before I introduced him to my family. That Sunday dinner changed everything. Your boyfriend? My mother's voice dripped with surprise when I brought James home. Eleanor, I didn't know you were seeing anyone serious. Victoria set down her wine glass with exaggerated care. James, was it? What an interesting name. Something flickered in her eyes that I'd seen before. When I got accepted to Rice University for architecture, when I won the Henderson Design Award, when Dad mentioned being proud of my career. That flash of calculation, there and gone like lightning. 2 weeks later, Victoria called. James mentioned he loves hiking. I'm thinking of getting into it. Would he want to join me on some trails? You're always so busy with work anyway. Red flag number 1. I ignored it. James says you two have been discussing environmental policy. He's so passionate. I'd love to pick his brain about my new non-profit idea. Red flag number 2. Still, I smiled and said, sure. Then came the girls' nights. Just me and Victoria, she'd say. Except James would, coincidentally, show up. Oh my God, what are the chances? Victoria would laugh, touching his arm just a second too long. My best friend Maya cornered me at brunch in March. Eleanor, look at me. I need to say something and you're going to hate it. The restaurant noise faded to white noise. I saw them, Maya said quietly, last Thursday, at that Italian place on Westheimer, the one you told Victoria was your anniversary spot. They were close, really close. My coffee tasted like metal. They're probably just planning something for my birthday. Your birthday was 2 months ago. I started noticing things. James's phone face down during dinner. Cancelled dates. Work emergency. Followed by Victoria posting Instagram stories from the same neighbourhood. Text messages that lit up his screen. Can't wait for tomorrow, with a contact saved as V. But the evidence I couldn't ignore came on a Wednesday afternoon. I'd left my portfolio at James's apartment and used my key to grab it. His laptop was open on the kitchen counter, a document called Future Plans displayed on screen. My hands shook as I read, Timeline. April, increase one-on-one time with V while maintaining relationship with E. May, create distance from E, use work as excuse. June, parents' anniversary party, public announcement. V's idea, proposes this show's It Just Happened narrative. E's project deadline June 15th, will be too busy to cause scene. 17 bullet points. A calculated dismantling of my life, planned like a corporate merger. The document was last modified yesterday, both their names in the edit history. I photographed everything, every text I could find, every email. The calendar entries marked V that corresponded with his work emergencies. 63 pieces of evidence in total. Then I made 3 phone calls. First, to Maya. "You were right. I need your help." Second, to my attorney cousin Daniel. "How do I protect myself?" Third, to the one person I thought might still be on my side, my father. "Daddy, I need to show you something." We met at his office downtown. I laid out the printed evidence across his mahogany desk like a crime scene investigation. Text messages, the timeline document, bank statements showing James's rent, paid by an account in Victoria's name for the past 2 months. My father studied each page, his jaw tightening. Then he picked up his phone. "Family meeting, my office, 1 hour, not negotiable." When Victoria walked in with James, her confidence evaporated the second she saw the papers. My mother arrived last, already defensive before anyone spoke. "Before anyone says anything," I began, my voice steadier than my hands. "I want you all to know I've made copies of everything. These are just printouts." "Elena, sweetie," Victoria's voice dripped with false concern. "Have you been snooping through James's private—" "I found a 63-point plan to steal my boyfriend and gaslight me into thinking I was imagining things." I handed the timeline document to my mother. Her face was drained of colour. Then, incredibly, she turned to Victoria. "Is this real?" "Mom, you don't understand. James and I fell in love. These things happen. Elena's always been so career-focused, she barely had time for him anyway. We were just trying to find the right way to tell her." "The right way," I repeated slowly, "was 6 months of lies, meeting him behind my back, planning to announce your engagement at Mum and Dad's party while I was drowning in my work deadline." James finally spoke, his voice small. "Elena, I'm sorry, I never meant—" "You never meant for me to find out." My father's voice cut through the room like steel. "Victoria, is this the first time?" Silence. "Dad, what are you talking about?" I asked. His eyes never left Victoria. "Is this the first time?" Victoria's facade cracked. "I don't know what you—" "Melissa Chen? Kyle Rodriguez? That intern Elena brought to Christmas 3 years ago. What was his name, honey?" My mother gasped. "Robert. Oh my God, Robert." The floor tilted beneath me. "What?" "Robert didn't realize he was gay after dating you," my father said quietly. "Victoria convinced him she was you, texted him from your phone when you left it at our house, set up dates pretending to be you, then slowly transitioned to being herself. By the time he realized what happened, he was too embarrassed to say anything." "How do you know this?" My voice barely worked. "He told me, apologized, asked me not to tell you because Victoria threatened to claim he was stalking her if he exposed what she'd done." My father turned back to Victoria. "I told myself it was a confused kid's mistake, that my daughter couldn't be capable of something so calculated." "And Melissa?" I whispered. "Your roommate sophomore year, the one who got you kicked out of your apartment because she felt unsafe around you? Victoria told her you'd been sending threatening messages, showed her texts she'd faked from your number." 26 years of my life reorganized itself in 60 seconds. Every friendship that mysteriously ended, every opportunity that vanished, every time I'd felt crazy for thinking Victoria was undermining me. "Why?" The word cracked in my throat. Victoria's mask finally shattered. Because everything comes so easy to you. You're the smart one, the talented one, the one who doesn't need help. Do you know what it's like being your twin? Watching you succeed at everything while you what? I stood up, rage burning through shock. Got a better room? The car? The full scholarship? Mum and Dad's constant attention and excuse-making? You got their respect, Victoria screamed. You got to be the capable one, the one they bragged about. I got to be the one they worried about, the one who needed taking care of like a child. My mother finally found her voice. You destroyed your sister's relationships because you were jealous of the respect you thought she received. I didn't destroy anything, Victoria said, but her voice wavered. I just leveled the playing field. No, my father said, you sabotaged your sister for years because you couldn't stand that she worked for what she achieved. James stood up shakily. I should go. Sit down. My father's command froze him mid-step. You're not leaving until we address what happens next. What happens next? I laughed bitterly. They will probably get married. Mum makes excuses. We all pretend this is normal. No. My father opened his desk drawer and pulled out a folder. What happens next is accountability. He handed papers to James first. That's a detailed account of rent payments from Victoria's account, funded by money from the trust her grandfather left her, which had a clause about it being used for establishing independent living. Using it to fund your apartment while deceiving Elena violates the trust terms. The trustee will be informed. James's face went white. The next papers went to Victoria. Your non-profit, the one you've been building with James's consulting, I'm on the board. As of today, I'm voting to remove you as director, pending an ethics investigation into financial irregularities. What financial irregularities? Victoria's voice climbed to a shriek. The ones I'll find when I audit your expenses. Want to bet I discover something? He turned to my mother. And you're going to explain to me why I've spent 26 years watching you give our daughters unequal treatment and telling myself it was my imagination. My mother's hands trembled. I thought Victoria needed more support. Elena was always so independent. So you made Elena parent herself while you coddled Victoria? My father's voice cracked. Do you understand what you've done? You created this. You taught Victoria that manipulation was acceptable, that Elena should sacrifice herself, that being capable meant being denied care. My phone buzzed. The Thompson Tower project team. Where are you? Presentation in 30 minutes. I looked at the chaos I'd unleashed, Victoria crying, James shell-shocked, my parents' marriage fracturing in real time. I have to go, I said quietly. Elena, wait. My mother reached for me. No, I've spent my whole life waiting for you to see me, waiting to be enough, waiting for Victoria to stop punishing me for existing. I picked up my bag. I'm done waiting. What does that mean? Victoria asked. It means you can have James. You can have the engagement party. You can have whatever narrative you want to spin about this. I headed for the door. But you don't get to have me anymore. Elena, please, my mother called. I turned back one last time. Mom, when I have kids someday, I'm going to make sure they both know they're loved equally, that capable isn't a punishment, that they never have to earn basic respect. My voice broke. I'm going to be the mother you couldn't figure out how to be. The door clicked shut behind me. I made it to the Thompson Tower presentation with 2 minutes to spare, mascara smudged, hands shaking, heart shattered. But I'd spent 3 years on this design, a sustainable mixed-use development that would revitalize downtown Houston. Ms. Martinez? The client, Patricia Thompson, noticed my face. Are you all right? Family emergency, I managed. But I'm here, that's what matters. I presented for 90 minutes. Every calculation, every sustainable feature, every community impact metric. When I finished, the room was silent. Then Patricia started clapping. "In 20 years of development," she said, "I've never seen a more comprehensive vision. You didn't just design a building, you designed a future." She paused. "Whatever you're going through right now, Ms. Martinez, I want you to know, some of us see you, not just your work, you." I cried in the bathroom for 15 minutes after. The wedding invitation arrived in September, cream-coloured, monogrammed, addressed to Miss Elena Martinez and guest. Maya found me staring at it. "You're not actually considering going?" "No," I agreed, "but I'm not hiding either." That same week, the Thompson Tower broke ground. Patricia asked me to lead the ribbon-cutting ceremony. My father came, solo. "Your mother and I are in therapy," he said after the photos. "Separately and together. She's starting to understand the damage, but..." He shook his head. "It's going to be a long road." "And Victoria?" "She's seeing someone too. Court-ordered, actually. Turns out using trust funds to manipulate relationships has legal implications." He smiled grimly. "The wedding's postponed indefinitely. James's parents found out about the timeline document." "How do you feel about all this?" I asked. "Honest?" My father looked older than I'd ever seen him. Relieved. "I've been complicit in dysfunction for too long. Whatever happens with your mother and sister, that's their journey. But you and me, I'm showing up differently from now on, if you'll let me." I hugged him for the first time in years. 3 months ago, Victoria sent me a letter, not an email, actual handwritten pages. "I don't expect forgiveness," it began. "I don't deserve it, but I need you to know, therapy's showing me that I didn't just hurt you. I hurt myself too. Every time I sabotaged you, I reinforced this belief that I couldn't succeed on my own merits, that I was the defective twin who needed shortcuts. You got nothing from our parents, Elena, and somehow you became everything I couldn't, not because you're better, but because you had to build strength I was never forced to develop. I'm sorry I didn't cover it. I stole years from you, but I want you to know, I'm trying to become someone who wouldn't do that, someone who wouldn't need to." I haven't responded yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But last week I ran into James at a coffee shop, the same one where we met. "Elena," he said awkwardly, you look really well." "I am." I wanted to say, the way things ended, I was a coward. "Yes," I agreed, "you were." He flinched. "Do you think maybe someday we could talk, really talk?" I smiled sadly. "James, I loved you, past tense, and you taught me something valuable. I'd rather be alone than with someone who sees me as disposable." "I never saw you as..." "You planned my heartbreak 6 months in advance." I picked up my coffee. "That's the definition of disposable." As I walked away, my phone rang, an unknown number. "Ms. Martinez, this is Rachel Chen from Tech Build magazine. We're doing a feature on women architects reshaping urban development. Your name came up repeatedly. Would you be interested in being our cover story?" I stepped into the October sunshine, my portfolio under one arm, a future I'd built myself stretching ahead. "Yes," I said, "I'd be very interested." My sister got the better room, the car, the scholarship, the unwavering parental support. She got everything handed to her. I got nothing, except the chance to build myself from scratch. Turns out, that was everything I needed.